In this episode, I go over my top 10 picks for New Comic Book Day, August 4th, 2021. What is going on, guys? Justin here, aka No Good Comics, and welcome back to the channel. This is the video where I break down my top 10 picks for New Comic Book Day, and in this case, coming up in August 4th, 2021. I can't believe we're at the end of July here. The summer is just flying by. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves. A lot of great things coming up here. By the time I'm recording this, by the time it comes out, getting ready to go to Terrificon. Really excited. It's going to be Friday night that I'm driving in. You guys, most of you watching this on a Thursday. Shout out to everybody who's in the premiere chat right now. Appreciate all you guys. If you ever want to catch this video premiered live, it's at 12:30 Eastern time every Thursday. But yeah, Terrificon's right around the corner, so I'm really excited for that, and just a lot of things going on. So was just at a con earlier this past weekend. I got to go to my local comic shop for a little bit on the weekend as well. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of things I've been picking up, and at the same time trying to pace myself as Terrificon is, like I said, right around the corner. Do have some things that I want to be picking up, and maybe some people that I want to be meeting and getting signatures from, and things like that. So I'm really excited. A lot of great things going on, and as always, as I say, it's another great week for comics. This is just the best time to be reading, in my opinion. Really enjoying a lot of the different books that are coming out, a lot of the different creators and artists that are putting things together. It's we're gonna go over this top 10 list right now. So a lot of great new issue number ones that I want to talk about. And yeah, just a great time. So before I get into all that, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and leave a comment in the comment section below. I always mention if there's something on this list that you didn't know about, let me know. If there's something I left out and you think it should have been on this list, let me know that as well. I'm always open to recommendations and suggestions, so keep that in mind. So let's dive into the list, and the first one I'm going to start off with is a Joker book. It's called The Joker Presents a Puzzle Box, issue number 1. I am not sure if this is an ongoing series or not, or if it's just a one-shot with multiple mini stories in it. It is a 40-pager, so $4.99 cover price. Really interesting cover there. Love the puzzle effect going on in the front, and looking at some of the cover, the variants looks insane. I mean, I'm a fan of anything Joker in terms of the stories that they put out, and I know that they've been using a lot. And in fact, a little foreshadowing ahead, there's another book that has a lot to do with the Joker on this top 10 list of mine, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, so let's see. The writer here, Matthew Rosenberg, along with Joshua Hickson doing the artwork. Just kind of scroll through some of this. It seems really interesting. Basically about the Gotham City Police, who have come across what they list here as a mysterious corpse, a magical box, and a murderous row of the city's most dangerous villains sitting in a jail cell. Now all they have to do is figure out what exactly happened. And the one suspect that's willing to talk, unfortunately, is Joker, who is very annoying to deal with, because he's not going to tell you the straight truth, and there's always going to be tricks to what he explains. So the way it breaks down, it looks like that this book is going to be told, it says a dozen tales of murder, mayhem, and mystery, as told by the clown prince of crime himself. Can you solve the puzzle before the sun comes up? So it seems like it all is going down in one night, and it says that you're spending the night essentially in the Gotham Central interrogation room, listening to all these different stories. So I'm sure there's gonna be like all these different flashbacks and things like that. I can already picture it now. It seems like a cool concept. Like I said, I think it is going to be a one-shot. So, but we'll see. Yeah. So that's my number 10 pick on the week. Talking about, let's jump into number 9 here. I have Basilisk issue number 3. Going back, I realized I don't think I read issue number 2. I did enjoy issue number 1. The only problem that I had with issue 1 was that it seemed like it was only half an issue. Like there should have been more to that first issue. So I think what I was planning on doing was essentially, kind of reading issue 1 over again, jumping right into issue 2, and then I just never got around to doing that. So I'm going to have to catch up on issue 2, but issue 3 is definitely going to be on my list. This is a Boom Studio book. Cullen Bunn, he's just everywhere. He's doing a lot of great things. He just put that book out last week, The Last Book You'll Ever Read, which at this moment, me talking about this, I haven't been able to read it yet. It's not out yet, as I'm filming on a Tuesday, but looking forward to that. And so yeah, Cullen Bunn just doing a lot of different things right now. Love all these dark horror type books that he puts out. And let's see, Jonas Scarf is Sharf is doing the artwork and also the cover artist there. So yeah, that's my number 9 pick of the week, Basilisk issue number 3. Let's see, going into number 8, I'm going to go with Out of Body, issue number 3. This is actually another one I was realizing as I was flipping through about to record here, that I did not read issue number 2. I loved issue number 1. Really enjoyed it. I must have missed it when they came out with 2, but sure enough, we're here on 3. So I'm going to have to do some catching up, hopefully either tonight or tomorrow to kind of prepare myself for when this comes out next week. But this is an Aftershock book. You guys know me. I'm all over the Aftershock stuff. This is written by Peter Mulligan and Anaki Miranda, who doing the artwork, who is the artist from We Live, which I was just obsessed with as that was coming out. I still love that story. Can't wait for more of that. So Miranda doing the artwork here, and like I said, I really enjoyed issue number 1. Basically about an individual who gets trapped in their own body and goes out like as an astral plane, and there's this like witch on the other side of the world who essentially can like communicate with those in the astral plane, and she is here to guide that individual. And this individual is trying to find out how he got to in the hospital in the first place. Essentially, he was attacked, and I'm just going off of what I recall from the first issue, but he was essentially attacked and woke up in the hospital and was in a coma, but he was wide awake and like knew and understood and could hear everything going on around him. He just couldn't speak or react or tell anybody anything. And so, long story short, he gets a drug slipped to him, and that's how his mind ends up leaving his own body in the astral plane. So really interesting stuff. Obviously, hence the name Out of Body goes with that. So I do recommend it. The panels were gorgeous. These covers are gorgeous. Really excited for diving into more of this. And like I said, I missed issue 2, so got to go back and catch that one as well. But that's my number 8 pick of the week, Out of Body, issue number 3. And earlier I talked a little bit about Joker, and I hinted that there was going to be something else about Joker. My number 7 pick of the week is going to a book called Suicide Squad Get Joker, issue number 1. This seems to be a kind of a side written thing. The thing that caught my attention, I love the cover here. This also has, let's see. Oh no, this only has one other cover, but Brian Azzarello is doing the writing. He's the one that did Batman Damned, which I really enjoyed that mini series, and just love Azzarello's art work in general. So really excited about that. The artist here, Matt Hollingsworth, I'm not as familiar with, but I'm definitely down to check it out. I also think Alex Maleev, Alex Maleev is listed here as an artist. I don't know if he's doing interior work, or I see he has a cover art, a cover that he did too. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So this, actually the cover we're looking at now is Alex Maleev, and he's also listed as the artist. So I'm not sure if he actually did interior stuff, but either way, looks really good. I don't really need to say much else about it. Suicide Squad. I started to read the main series of Suicide Squad. I don't know if that's where this picks up, or if this is just something completely different altogether. I should skim through here and see. Let's see. Oh wow, so this is only going to be a 3-issue. Let's see, the collaborate for the first time in the 3-issue oversized prestige plus format Suicide Squad series, pitting Red Hood, Harley Quinn, Firefly, and more of DC's most villainous criminals against the Joker. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. When Task Force X, Amanda Waller sets her sights on Batman's greatest foe, she enlists the Dark Knight's former partners Jason Todd to track down the clown prince of crime and put an end to his mad reign of terror. So that's, yeah. So bad guys against the Joker. I mean, I'm always going to be interested. And the fact that it's Azzarello, as I mentioned. Really cool. It's only 3 issues. And this particular one is 48 pages. So, okay, that explains that. I like these. I like these okay, that makes sense too. It's a black label. I didn't even realize that. I just noticed that now. So yeah, Azzarello doing a lot of the black label stuff. But love the dark creepiness, horror type vibes that he puts out with some of these types of titles. So hopefully this is another home run, but we'll give it a shot. Let's see, that is my 7 pick of the week. Let's get into number 6 here, and I'm going to go with, this is from AWA, Not All Robots, number 1. This is something that just kind of caught my eye as I was scrolling through looking at, some of the new releases coming out. As you know me, I am always down to be picking up issue number 1s if I can, especially of independent titles. So the other thing that really caught my attention was Mike Deodato Jr. He is doing the artwork on this, and I love his artwork. I didn't realize how much work he actually does with AWA. I don't know if he's just a full contracted artist with them, or what the deal is, or how that's written up. But I know he does a lot of stuff with them. And so, yeah, I'm excited to check this out as well. Anytime you can get Mike Deodato doing interior artwork, sign me up. The artist here, the writer here, Mark Russell, I am not familiar with his stuff, but let me just take a quick look and see if I recognize some of his work here. Let's see, he's done stuff for, scrolling through. Oh, he's the one that's doing Fantastic Four Life Story. He also did Superman's Imperious Lex, which I read a little bit about. I see he has done some Harley Quinn in the past. Either way, I want to give this a shot. It's something that takes place in the future. Let me look at the kickoff here. In the year 2056, robots have replaced human beings in the workforce. An uneasy coexistence develops between the newly intelligent robots and 10 billion humans living on Earth. Every human family is assigned a robot upon whom they are completely reliant. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, yeah, so just that little bit right there sounds really interesting. So yeah, you can see just taken from the cover here. So yeah, sign me up for some of this. Any of these futuristic robotic type stories, I am always down for. So that's going to be my number 6 pick of the week, Not All Robots, issue number 1. Let's see, halfway through the list here, I got another issue number 1. This is Dark Horse Comics presents Lucky Devil issue number 1. Again, something that I am not very familiar with. I just saw it scrolling through, and again, something that caught my attention is another Cullen Bunn book. So my goodness, yeah, the guy is super busy. Certainly up there with James Tynion, I would say, in terms of how many books he's putting out there. All of them for this guy more focused on these darker stories. Let's see. This one says a down on his luck schlub is possessed by a malevolent demon. Just when he thinks that things can't go wrong, the exorcism goes wrong. Once things can't get worse, the exorcism goes wrong. And he finds that somehow he's retained all of the entity's supernatural gifts. After a path of revenge on the people that have wronged him, he begins to gather worshippers and form a cult. So yeah, that's, again, sign me up. Anything Cullen Bunn, anything like horror, I'm all in on. These indie titles are great. I'm loving it. So Fran Gollin is doing the artwork. Not familiar with him, but yeah, I'm going to give this a try. So that's my number 5 pick of the week, Lucky Devil, issue number 1. All right, so coming in at number 4, we have another issue number 1. This is The Me You Love in the Dark, issue number 1, presented by Image Comics, and this is a book that I've heard a lot about. I feel like Image does a really good job with their promotions and really giving you a heads up about some of these new books that are coming out. And one of the things that stood out to me was that this is written by Scotty Young. Really enjoyed his work with Middle West, which I have to say, like, a lot of people know him more for his artwork and his variants and things like that, but I love his writing, and Middle West was a really great series from what I've read. That's a book that I need to continue and finish up on, because I think I read the first 2 trades, and there's a few more things I need to read for that. So, but anyways, Scotty Young as a writer, I'm a big fan of. The artist here, Jorge Corona, not as familiar with, but definitely want to check this out. It says, this book is an artist named Ro retreats from the grind of the city to an old house in a small town to find solace and inspiration without realizing the muse within is not what she expected. Fans of Stephen King, Neil Gaiman will enjoy this beautiful, dark, and disturbing story of discovery, love, and terror. So, yeah, I feel like we don't get too much from that, but definitely, again, I mean, just from the team here and everything that I've heard about it so far, I am definitely going to check this out. So, and again, a lot of different covers for this. The artwork alone looks really dope too. So, yeah, Scotty Young, sign me up. This is my number 4 pick, The Me You Love in the Dark. Let's see. Going into number 3, oh man, so these last 3, and I say this every time, these last 3 are all very close. They easily could be my number 1 on the list here. But for me, I'm going to pick, for my number 3, I'm going with The Lot, issue number 2. This is a Bad Idea comic. I know a lot of people are not fans of Bad Idea per se, but I am really enjoying the work that I've read from them, from the books that they've published. I'm really enjoying, this is one of them. I loved issue number 1, super dark, super creepy. If you guys are not reading The Lot, I do recommend it. This is only a 4-issue miniseries altogether. It's black and white, which really just fits that horror vibe really well done. Basically, it's about a woman who gets an opportunity of a lifetime to be able to direct, and she's putting together this film that they couldn't find a space. Basically, the place that she chose to film was on this old abandoned lot that was essentially used for it was a filming lot that was used for all these like horror stories or horror movies that, I guess, I forget, it was like back in the 60s or something like that. The original director used to have his actors actually in real pain in order to try to capture them in these horrific viewpoints, for his film. And apparently some really haunted things happen back at this time. So anyways, she reopens The Lot and wants to use this as a platform, and some things start to unravel essentially while they're there. So I won't get into the details. It's only 4 issues. But this is definitely a book that I recommend. The Lot, issue number 2 by Bad Idea. The writer here, Marguerite Bennett, and Renato Guides. Shout out to both of them, because they've been doing, I love what they're doing with this story. So that is going to be my number 3 pick of the week, The Lot, issue number 2. Getting down to the last 2 here, I am going with, for my number 2 pick, Swamp Thing, issue number 6, and I think that's pretty straightforward. Ram V has just been killing it. I say this every time. Usually Swamp Thing is literally like my 1 or my 2 for these lists over the past couple of issues that have come out. And here it is as my number 2 here. So we are halfway through this 10-issue mini-series that Ram V is doing. One interesting thing that I realized from last issue, it was a different artist, and now of course I'm drawing a blank as to who the artist was, but let me see if I can pull it up here. Here it is, issue number 5. Because Mike Perkins has been doing the artwork, and I love what Mike Perkins is doing. And when I saw that Mike Perkins was not on issue 4, I was a little bummed out about it. But I think John McCrae. John McCrae did the artwork last issue, and I think he did a good job. But I am happy that Perkins is back, because Perkins, I love his style, and it really does bring me back to, between that and the writing that Ram V is doing, it really does bring me back to the Alan Moore stuff that I had recently read for Swamp Thing. If you guys have not read that stuff, I do recommend going back and checking out like that first trade at least to get started. Some of that actually ties into this. We do see some characters in this current Swamp Thing. But overall, I've talked to some people about this series in general. This is a series that you really don't need any knowledge prior to reading into this. The main character that is the Swamp Thing of this story arc is a new character. He's never been introduced before, so he's someone new that has taken over the Green Mantle, essentially. And he goes by the name Levi Kamei. So, yeah, this is just a really great book. I don't know what else to say about it other than the stories that are told, the way it's written. Again, it's like a horror type book. And I'm getting to see a theme here as I'm constantly saying that half of these books here, I guess I'm just a horror guy. I never really defined myself as that or painted myself as that before, but looking at my list, like more and more, every time new comics come out, I'm always like, oh, like what kind of scary, creepy, dark, vicious book can I pick up this time? So this is just another one on the list that goes towards that. Yeah, so anyways, Swamp Thing, if you guys are not reading it, I would say give it a shot. Even if you're not a Swamp Thing person, if you know nothing about Swamp Thing, that is completely okay. You certainly can still get into it. And if you're just into the horror stuff, or if you're just into Ram V, because Ram V is just killing it right now, another writer who's just putting out a lot of great work right now, I would say it's definitely a book worth checking out. Even though we're on issue 6, I would say either go back or, you know, at this point, if you want to wait for the trades, you could do that. It definitely can go either way. But last issue was about John Constantine. We got a little visit from him. So I don't know if that's going to continue or if that was kind of a one-off for that particular issue, but we will see. So yeah, that's my number 2 pick of the week. And before I get into issue number 1, or my number 1 pick, I should say, just a reminder, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment in the comment section below. If you're here right now in the premiere chat, thank you so much for hanging out. And again, you know, jump out real quick, leave a comment, let me know what you guys think of this stuff. I'm always curious if I'm missing something, you know, give me a recommendation. I'm always up for it. And anybody going to Terrificon this weekend, let me know. Hit me up over on Instagram. Would love to meet up with you. I already have plans to see a lot of different people that are going to be there. I'm really excited just for, in general, being there. The fact that we are kind of getting some normalcy with this type of con. This is the biggest con that I'm going to be returning to since the pandemic. So I'm really excited for that. A lot of legitimate artists and writers that are going to be there as well. And of course, there's going to be a casino. So, you know, we'll see how the weekend treats me and how the tables go. And if I'm successful on the tables, then maybe I will be successful over at the con as well. But either way, would love to hear from you guys. So let's get into the number 1 pick. And again, smash that like button. I appreciate that. But the number 1 pick for me has got to be The Nice House on the Lake, issue number 3. My goodness, this book is just... It is amazing. And this is James Tynion. So, I mean, I hit on all the big writers of this year right now, the ones I'm personally really enjoying. I think Tom Taylor's the only one I didn't talk about this entire time. And so, sure, I'll just talk about Tom Taylor because, or I'll mention his name because, you know, he's another one that's killing it. But no, let's not take the shine off of James Tynion just doing some really amazing work just in general, as I talked about all these different writers that are putting out a bunch of different home run books. Nice House on the Lake, while it is a DC book, it certainly reminds me of just an indie title, and so, which is cool because you know, I mean, it's cool that it's interesting that it's backed by DC, but that you can get these vibes of like an indie type of book. I'm interested to see if this ties into anything else too. I know people have talked about issue number 1. James Tynion had Cole, what's his name? Cole from Department of Truth was mentioned. He was like featured in a tweet that was in the first issue of Nice House on the Lake. So I'm wondering if we see any more little tie-ins to that. But this is a book that my girlfriend and I had my girlfriend reading. She's loving it right now. To give you a little premise of what this is all about, essentially it's about this guy Walter, who over the years has collected friends, like has made friends with different individuals that all has something to do with each other. A majority of them, they all went to school together, but then there's like 1 or 2 people that have no tie into those other people. But anyways, he's gotten to know them over the years. He ends up inviting them all to his house, this nice house on the lake, randomly, like years later. And some horrific things happen in the world where, I mean, a lot of people die. And not them, but just other people and people that they know. Literally the entire world kind of shuts down as they're trying to reach out and talk with individuals, or they're trying to, you know, call their family, tweet them, whatever, out, use social media as a form to try to reach them, and they can't. And you find out some things about Walter, and you find out some things about, you know, what these people all have in common, and they're all still trying to figure out why they're at this house. But essentially, they're living large at this one house that was not affected by anything going on in the world, but otherwise there's some really gruesome things that are going on in the world, and we're trying to figure out here like why people have come together. It kind of reminds me of like Clue in a way, only there isn't just one murder. It's like the whole world is being murdered, and they're trying to figure out like why they're here, who Walter really is, what does this house do for them. Last issue there was a surprise on the front lawn that leads into some other things, so I won't get into all those details. But anyways, a great read, and if you're not reading it, I highly recommend it. I mean, look, it's my number 1. I always point that out. Whatever my number 1 pick is, it's like, it's a book that I would scream out to anybody, like, read this book, give it a shot, check it out. It's only issue 3, so you definitely can catch up, you know, or download it on Comixology or wherever. I know they're even doing second prints, third prints of some of these books, I think. So certainly other ways to get this book or this series. So, but anyways, that's my number 1 pick of the week. James Tynion's The Nice House on the Lake, issue number 3. Yeah. it is a wild one. But there you have it, folks. These are my top 10 picks for New Comic Book Day, August 4th, 2021. I like I said, I can't believe we're at the end of July already. It's pretty nuts. But anyways, again, leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this list. I appreciate everybody who takes the time to watch this, whether you're here in the premiere chat right now or if you're just catching the replay of this. Either way, I do appreciate you. Make sure you smash that like button on the way out. And until next time, I will talk to you later.